the fastest way to get your playing simply sound good is by getting control of your phrasing. And generally that means it's not about what you play, but how you play something. So we have a lot of different ways we can play the same lick, and I'm going to introduce you now to the first element which I want to show you, that is called slides. So even as a beginner, which I've seen with my students over time and time again, is that slides are pretty much the easiest thing that you can learn to perform on the guitar, because all you have to do is just put a finger on the fretboard and then slide it somewhere else. There, slide. Easy as that. And what I want to show you now is a few example licks, how you can apply, or with a few example licks, how you can apply your slides here. So let's take this first lick here. And before I get into this, one thing to mention is, if you want a few examples with different phrasing techniques applied, you can just click the link in the description if you watch this on YouTube, and follow the instructions there. And I will send you a training document over just right away. It's for free for you, and there you will get a full sheet of examples how you can apply all those different phrasing elements. I'm gonna show you in this video and the next few videos where you can simply train with. So let's go into this first lick here. This is how you usually play it. You start with the first finger, but let's say now you want to have some phrasing in there. This is where what I mentioned earlier comes in, that you can get a hold of this pretty easily because it's physically not as demanding, but it's more mentally demanding. But developing this mentally is far easier than, for example, building speed and getting to a really high, fluent virtuoso level with shredding scales and arpeggios all over the fretboard. So what you have to do here is you think a little bit ahead, and if you want to slide from this note to that note, you have to start this, because looking also that you play this with the 5th fret here, and in the 5th fret, let's start this with the ring finger on the 5th fret. So I'm gonna show you what that will look like here. So here I'm in the 5th fret with my ring finger, I slide up, and now I could do this. Slide up and down, back and forth to the 7th fret. And that will be the first application. Let's see what we can do with this lick here. This is what it generally sounds like. And this is you can do something very elegant, I think, in my opinion, is if you put your index finger here, you slide up to this note, slide down again, you play this with the pinky finger as normal, and then you do the same thing that you did here. You slide up to this note and then down to this note again. It would sound like this. And it already gives the lick like slightly a little bit of character. So way more than. So this would be another example. Now the next example here, this is quite a little bit more tricky because we have to think even more ahead. So let's look into what we have here. And if you noticed, all of those licks are based on the first pentatonic shape, but you can take them all over the fretboard and get creative with other positions on the fretboard as well. And that will get you to become a really good soloist. Even if you ever only use the first pentatonic shape, but if you get a hold of your phrasing, you can do quite amazing stuff. So let's look into this one here. So we only go descending apart from this note here, where we have quite a huge jump from the 5th fret to the 10th fret. So what I would simply try out here, this is just free flow suggestions or examples. You can do whatever you want here. You don't have to follow my examples. Actually, you shouldn't follow my examples at all. You should come up with your own. And let's say you start here with the index fingers, slide down to the 5th fret, and you follow through with the lick as usual. Now I'm on the 7th fret here, and this is my position here. So I went from here. Now I'm here. I slide down here, just for the sake of putting in a slide there. But now I'm in the 5th fret here, and I want to get to the 10th fret. So what I can do is I slide into the 10th fret here, but I use my ring finger on the 3rd fret, for example. It doesn't really matter where you start the slide if you just slide into a note. So there you have like a slide from a G to the D here. But it doesn't really matter where you start that slide because it's so swift. You can't really much tell a difference, even if it's just 2 frets. That was too far. So don't overthink where you put that slide if you just slide into a note. But here's the full lick again. And this just gives everything a little bit more color and taste. It's like if you put spices into your soup, you don't want to overdo it, but if you use just the right amount, and that's how good cooks are born, and also good soloists, if you get just the right amount of phrasing. But this takes a little bit of time to figure out, but I'm also of course here to help you, so if you want to get my personal specialized help, you can always feel free to contact me over my website and join my guitar programs, so then we will get you on the fast track for this. And now with this lick here, actually I wouldn't do much with this particular lick with slides, but let's just for the sake of trying out put a slide in there. We can pretty much just start here on the 7th fret, slide down here with the index finger, and then play the rest of the lick. This is what it sounds normally like. And then we had a slide in the next note, so I will skip showing this on the fretboard. I think you can figure this out on your own. And here is one more lick that will be quite interesting to see. So let me just add a holding out here so that this note is hold out longer, but that doesn't really have anything to do with this. So this is a normal lick, how it would sound like. So there we have a little string skipping from the 5th fret to this 5th fret, from the G string to the E string, and because I have the luxury of time here, it's not particularly played fast. What I do is just I play it like this. Of course that requires for you to be a little bit swift with this motion here. Yeah, there, I already fucked that up. So you have to move your finger from here to there quite swiftly. So here is... Now let's see what we can do with slides here. Wouldn't go from here to there, but we can go a forward backward slide from here to there. So let's see how that would sound like. That would be one pretty good example, but I want to have this part a little bit more elegant, because as you saw, I fucked this up myself here one time to go from here, and then I totally missed this note here because I jumped slightly too far. So if you want to give yourself just a little bit more time, here is what I would suggest. We slide into this 5th fret with the ring finger. So here's how that whole thing would look like. Now I put my ring finger somewhere, 7th fret for example, and we slide down to the 5th fret. So this is... And this gives this like really a lot of different color, in my opinion, because it's not anymore just like this. And as you may have paid attention, I played now index finger, middle finger here. That's also another possibility for that little skip. But if you simply slide down into this note, that's like, it's not as common in general in rock music, blues music, that you have this little slide down. So it's kind of unexpected and gives a little bit more, color and more surprising element to what you play there. So it adds up that to grab your listener's attention a little bit more. And with all these little things adding up, if you just stack them on top of each other more and more, you get better and better with this. And you become a really good soloist just with, even if all you ever learn is slides, but you don't have to only stick with slides, because in the next video I will show you the next element of phrasing, and you can simply apply that. And again, I want to remind you that if you want to have a few more examples where I lay out the phrasing for you here, with that you can train with practically and then come up with your own examples from there, just follow the instructions. Click the link under the description if you're on YouTube, and if you're already on my page, just scroll down a little bit, follow the instructions there, and I will send you a training document right over, and then you will get really, really good with this. So for everything else, if you need more help, I'm always here and happy to help you. Just get in touch with me over my website, and I can really help you out much quicker in my guitar programs and get you on the fast track there with everything else. So we have a really grand strategy there for you then if you get in touch with me and we figure that out for you. So, alright, so I hope this helps. Let me know in the comments whatever else you want to have a video about, and make sure you get that training document. It will really help you help you speed up this learning process. And so see you next time.